Hi, I'm Dana Schwartz, and this is Rise or Die, the official companion podcast for Peacock's original series, Those About to Die. On this podcast, I go behind the scenes with the show's cast and creators to learn how they brought their brutal vision of Rome to life. I talked to acclaimed director and executive producer Roland Emmerich.
When I saw the first race, I was like giddy.
Actor Ewan Ryan.
For an actor, that's a dream, although you do get a lot of sand in your sandals.
And so many more.
You helped summon those ghosts back onto that stage.
Every day when I went to set, I was giggling about what I saw.
I think it's going to be a breathtaking thing.
People will freak out.
Rise or Die launches on July 18th. Watch or listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Contained herein are the heresies of Radolf Burntwine, erstwhile monk turned traveling medical investigator. Join me as I uncover the blasphemous truth of a plague-ridden world, that ours is not a loving God, and we are not its favored children. The heresies of Radolf Burntwine, coming January 2nd, wherever podcasts are available.
Oh, hello, gentle listeners.
Oh, hello. Do I get included in that, or do I get my own hello?
Hello, Kristin. It's me, Jenny.
Hello, Jenny. Our last introduction to an episode of Doomcoming. This is it. This is the last Doomcoming. I have
For now.
Flap,
flap, flap, flap, flap.
For now, I have an email for you, Jenny, that I think you're gonna enjoy. Before we get into this episode. So in Doomcoming, the titular Doomcoming last week, we talked about the costumes that they made, and you had a lot of questions about leather working.
I always have a lot of questions about leather work, Kristin.
Yeah, well, I am thrilled to report to you, Jenny, that our listener Liz wrote in and said, as soon as I heard y'all say we must have a leather worker in our audience, I paused the pod and ran to find my partner Mare, QPOC leather worker extraordinaire, Yellowjackets fan, and not a pod listener due to hearing issues, but a lover of y'all's work, to ask their input. Mare agrees with Kristin that the leather masks worn by Thaisa and Van would have been made either from clothes bought by the team or leather gear found in the cabin. With pre-processed leather, those would have been easy to make. However, there are also non-chemical methods of processing hides for leather that could potentially be used, but not with the skill set these girls have so far. In order to make those leather masks from animal hides, they would have needed to skin the deer, cleanly remove all its hair, remove the fat and muscle, and at bare minimum dry it while using the fat to reseal the hide. All of that before whatever braiding and decoration they added on. Mare, who also grew up in New Jersey public schools, feels confident that the team would not have learned the techniques necessary to make these masks from scratch. But maybe by the Antler Cult era, our Yellowjackets will develop some better leather skills. I'm sure when this app initially went up on the Patreon, you got some responses, but just in case, I was excited to finally be the one to bring the lesbians with niche expertise perspective from my own household. Shameless plug,
yes.
And this is exciting. Mare's beautiful work can be found at Beacon Craft Studio, and I get so much joy for promoting them. So there you go, Jenny. Well, your leather questions answered.
Incredible. I simply love to hear it. I wish I had more questions about leather.
Well, there's a whole nother season of Yellowjackets to journey through, so I'm sure we'll have more. We've learned so much about hunting, leather working. You know what we haven't learned about is fucking Triangle Buddy. Tell you what. All right, let's get into the episode, Jenny, but we should let folks know that we did a little mini-sode talking about the trailer for season 2 of Yellowjackets, sort of thinking through some of our theories, trying to go through some of the stills from that teaser trailer. That is up on our Patreon right now, right this very moment, and linked in the show notes. And we're going to have some other fun treats for you in the feed as we lead up to a rather large announcement this March.
Wow.
The announcement is not that we are going to be on season 2 of Yellowjackets, unfortunately.
Unless. I'm not ruling it out until I've seen all 10 episodes, Kristin.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Welcome back to Doomcoming. It's the last episode of season 1.
Oh my God. Which means season 2 starts like tomorrow, right?
No.
Great.
Just a nice little wait. Well. Today we're talking about season 1, episode 10, the season 1 finale, Sic Transit Gloria Mundi.
Beautiful. I was wondering how you were going to pronounce that, how Latin we were going to get up in here.
It was written by Ashley Lyle, Bart Nickerson, and Catherine Kearns, who has an executive story editor credit. It was directed by Eduardo Sanchez, and it originally aired January 16th, 2022.
This is the one, according to IMDb, where on the night of their 25-year reunion, the Yellowjackets navigate damning evidence, false alibis, and a dubious attempt to heal. In the wilderness, the Doomcoming fallout finds everything firmly off the rails as resentment comes to a head.
What do you interpret as a dubious attempt to heal in this episode?
I interpret that as Allie being like, and now because our homecoming queen is dead, we're going to heal our wounds by having Shauna and Jeff dance together. That's what I interpret that to be.
No, that's not dubious. That's just
I mean,
correct.
To be quite honest with you, I actually have no idea what dubious means. So what does dubious mean?
Worddefinition.net defines dubious as hesitating or doubting, not to be relied upon, suspect.
Well, I mean, Allie is a little suspect, but not in like a damaging way or a scary way. You know, she's just like Allie. I mean, not to skip to fucking Allie, but as you can tell, Jenny and I are both like really excited to talk about Allie because I think like being New York, New Jersey kids, we know Allies. I mean, these are living, breathing human beings. Every piece of Allie is crafted from a real life human being living in New York or New Jersey. You know, and so maybe dubious, not to be trusted is like, you know, I don't know. It's like her talking about her fucking trauma bond with the team and shit like that. But anyway, we'll get there when we get there. Jenny, did you see what I picked as the focus actually of this episode?
Yeah. The real prom king and queen, Triangle Buddy and Allie.
Hell yeah. Give me the slow dance between Triangle Buddy and Allie. My two favorite characters in this episode. Did you look up the title? Did you do a little?
You know I did.
Tell me all about
you?
it. Of course I did. Tell me all about it.
Whoa! Sic Transit Gloria Mundi translates to "Thus passes the glory of the world." The phrase was used in the ritual of papal coronation ceremonies between 1409, when it was used at the coronation of Alexander V, and 1963. Damn, it had a good run.
I tried to find out what the fuck happened in 1963.
Is that when Vatican 2.0 kicked off?
Is like, and did they like just stop using Latin? Like what happened?
So actually, it's how timely of you to ask. So the second Vatican Council took place in from October 1962 to December 1965.
Oh shit!
It looks like.
Okay, so that is.
And as I understand it, okay, right. As a result of Vatican II, the Catholic Church opened its windows onto the modern world, updated the liturgy, gave a larger role to lay people, introduced the concept of religious freedom, and started a dialogue with other religions. And I don't know if, I think this is also since Vatican II, or maybe it's been developing since Vatican II. But there is some conflict about performing Latin masses versus performing mass in English. You now, as of the newest pope, you need special permission to conduct a Latin mass.
Why? I'm like the 5-year-old.
Kristin.
But why? But why? But why? The newest pope. I'm from a Catholic family, so I really enjoy 38 years of I don't remember when the new pope came into power, but for most of my adult life, I was told that everything the Pope said was to be listened to, because the Pope was just simply a funnel for God, and the God spoke through the Pope. And it seems like all of a sudden they don't like this Pope. Not this one, though. Not this one. That's just not this one, guys. Anyway.
It looks like it was the Tridentine Mass, established by Pope Pius V in 1570, was banned in 1963 by the Second Vatican Council in an effort to modernize the Roman Catholic liturgy and allow more participation and understanding of the Mass.
Yeah,
by
that's
the
what I
congregation.
figured. That's what it was. That it was like about making it accessible to people, like so that they could hear what was happening instead of just like words that they didn't understand. But it's weird that you need permission to do it. But also, you know who two folks are who probably shouldn't be telling you the history of the Catholic Church? Kristin Russo and Jenny Owen Youngs. Yes, this is a cool title. This might be my favorite title for out of all the episodes. I just love this. Thus, so finish. You can finish your
yeah. Kristin, I wouldn't want you to miss these remaining hot details.
Well, I mean, not to brag, Jenny, but I'm reading along with you because we both have the same set of research skills. We have copied and pasted from Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.org. Apple C, Apple V. Get a load of this. As the newly chosen pope proceeded from the sacristy of St. Peter's Basilica, the procession stopped 3 times. On each occasion, a papal master of ceremonies would fall to his knees before the pope, holding a silver or brass reed bearing a tau or toe of smoldering flax. And for 3 times in succession, as the cloth burned away, he would say in a loud and mournful voice, I believe it's Holy Father, so passes worldly glory.
Sic Transit Gloria Mundi.
Yes, and these words, thus addressed to the Pope, served as a reminder of the transitory nature of life and earthly honors. The staff-like instrument used in the aforementioned ceremony is known as a Sic Transit Gloria Mundi, named after the Master of Ceremonies' words.
Love to dig into that deep Catholic shit. You know what I mean? Get your fucking hands into that shit. Find out what's going on in there. This is cool because, like, I mean, clearly there's a lot of like, I don't know, spiritual stuff in this episode, which we'll talk about. But also, like, thus passes the glory of the world so deeply echoes for me in the scene between Nat and Shauna when they are, chopping up Adam's body into small pieces. And Shauna is like, I look out into the world and like, it seems like the light is gone. And maybe that's how Travis felt. And maybe he just didn't want to live the way that we live anymore, because I feel like, I don't know. I mean, it just seems like that was the moment for them when the like piece of flax cloth burned the fuck away. You know what I mean? Like that was it. Thus passed the glory of the world for them when this plane crashed in the wilderness. And I think it's very nice titular choice, guys.
R.I.P. the glory of the world.
And Jessica Roberts.
And also, all hail the maybe newly coronated.
Ah, yes. Correct. Good. Delicious. Yes, Pope Lottie Matthews IV.
Taking a stroll through the season 1 credits for the last time, I found myself hoping that they won't change the credits for season 2, but I feel like they will.
If it's anything like the Game of Thrones universe, we'll at least have the song, even if it's a spin-off show. You know, we'll keep this.
Oh, boy.
No return, no return, no reason. It'll be like set in space with aliens, but Nat will be a character, you know?
What?
I don't know. I tried to think of another universe, but
That's good.
it's not Westeros, so it was hard for me to branch off.
Television networks and production companies. Kristin Russo is available for pitch meetings.
I agree. I hope they don't change. I don't think they'll change the credits. You think they'll change the
They
credits?
had me cackling. This is the first time I saw the close-up of Caligula that really got me.
Oh, God. The folks at autoshuttle.com, I know, were selling a Caligula Inn t-shirt for a while. This episode is the birth of the Caligula Inn, and it is so hilarious.
Clearly not a place anybody should aspire to stay.
I mean, it could be fun for like a little Halloween spooky stay over, you know? You get thematic.
Not worth the risk for me.
Yeah. So something that I realized, which maybe everybody else knew, was that Mari didn't know that they were fucking magic mushrooms. I didn't realize that until watching this episode for like the third time. Yeah.
She just thought they were
mushrooms.
Mushrooms. Hard stop.
Yeah. So everybody's hungover.
They are hungover. They are filthy. They slept on the dirt and all wake up at the exact same time.
Yeah. There's some like torn stocking knees. I mean, it really does look like after a high school party, just minus the dirt, usually. I mean, not that you can't fall asleep in the dirt after a high school party, but usually it's just a ratty fucking carpet in somebody's like college dorm room, which is honestly, I'd prefer the dirt to thinking about it.
Yeah, the dirt seems more like wholesome.
Yeah. The dirt is cleaner than a college carpet by a landslide.
Yeah.
So, Jenny, Javi's missing.
Javi's missing. This isn't great.
It's really not.
'Cause you know what doesn't change throughout the episode? The fact that Javi is missing.
Yeah. I think like perhaps on my first viewing of this, I was like, there's just so much that happens in this episode that like I knew they couldn't find Javi, but I didn't really internalize that like the whole season ends and Javi is still not found.
Yeah.
There was a lot of, and we've talked about it in like What's the Buzz segments and what have you, and even ahead of What's the Buzz, but there was a lot of conversation about, you know, is Adam Javi? Is Javi Adam? Because of the Martinez Martin thing, because like it seemed like the show had a bunch of tricks up its sleeve. And you know, then it was like, oh, that's not not true. But I have to say that this time through, learning like that the news is like Adam Martin, 36 years old. Like they so specifically say how old he was, which I didn't really notice in times past. And I was like, that is how, I mean, not to like put that log back on the fire, but like that is how old probably Javi would be.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So anyway, Javi's missing. Travis is being a little bee still, but I guess he has a pass on that since he had a pine cone put in his mouth and his throat almost slit by a bunch of sex-hungry girls. So fair enough.
Yeah, you know, courtesy wouldn't be my first priority if I were Travis upon this morning. However, the one person I might be nice, the two people I might be nice to would be Natalie, three people. Natalie, Jackie, and Coach.
Exactly.
The three people who didn't put a pine cone in his mouth.
Exactly. Natalie like literally saved him. And like I love young Nat in this episode because I mean really in this first scene too, where she's just like, I don't give a fuck about Jackie. Like there were people in the woods who are about to fucking kill you. Like I don't give a fuck who you slept with, dude. That's like not really the thing that we should be focusing on. Which I think like Travis could take a page out of that book. You know, like I do wish that Travis had a little more focus on some of the larger things that are happening, which I guess he does with Javi. But last episode I was like, Travis, come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah. We're not going to get it this episode.
Yeah. I mean, we do get Travis, like, to follow the Travis and Nat arc. And, you know, in the show notes, Jenny, I don't know if we want to talk about the whole shebang here, because the young Travis Nat arc is so inextricably tied to the adult Travis Nat of it all. But I will say that in 96, they have a rough start and Travis doesn't want Nat's help. And Nat keeps following him and keeps saying, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, you know, figuratively. And by the end, Travis talks about how much he's in love with her, and they hold each other, and it's really nice, and it's really devastating because it's contrasted in the show with adult Nat coming to terms with the reality of adult Travis.
Yeah. Sometimes, you know, you're just in a bathtub using a tool I don't know the name of to dismember.
It honestly looks like an electric, like, poultry cutter.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And you have a conversation that just, like, really helps you reach a place of, you know, I don't know, enlightenment, clear-headedness, whatever. Oh, the enlightenment or clear-headedness, of course, is, like, called into question by the end of the episode.
Yeah.
But Natalie does manage to get to this place where she's like, man, maybe, you know, Occam's razor is right here. You know, the most obvious or the simplest explanation is the one that's the most likely to be accurate. And she's, you know, she gets there and she, like, comes to a place of acceptance and then is like, why did you just make that face? It seemed like you didn't want me to say something.
Oh, no. I'm just frustrated. I think I got more frustrated with some of what the show does. There are some elements of this episode that I'm frustrated about and wasn't from the beginning. And this is like one of them. And I got even more frustrated watching it a second time. But please continue.
Tell me more.
Well, it's, you know, the show is, and like, clearly that's what we're here for. The show is like playing with like what is happening, right? But when it comes to this storyline of Travis and Travis maybe having killed himself, I was like on board for the mystery of it. Like, Travis did not kill himself. That is not what happened. But then I felt this way the first time through, that it was really powerful when that turned on its head. And that, like, Natalie, you know, Juliette Lewis's performance, I think, is really fantastic. The conversation between Kevin and Nat, the conversation between Shauna and Nat, it felt so moving to me to just, like, really have Nat come to terms with the reality that, like, they have been through really traumatic shit. And that even though this person promised that he would never, that, like, that is not necessarily always going to be able to be the thing that someone can promise and keep a promise for. So if they were going to make that pivot, I don't like the pivot back. I don't like that it's back in question by the end, just because it felt really powerful to me to go to, like, turn that corner if they were going to do it.
I could see that, but I do think that, you know, regardless of whatever happens, like, what the end of the episode means for this particular plot line, Nat still went on this journey and got to where she got to.
That's
and, like,
true. That
doesn't get taken away just because of this question mark reemerging.
Who the fuck is Lottie Matthews? Yeah, no, I that's true. I think it's like a thing. I think maybe the simplest way to say it simplest way to say the thing that I've taken an hour to try to say here is just, like, to me, it feels like a really sensitive thing to throw in the mix of, like, what is supernatural and what isn't. You know what I mean? But I agree with you.
Yep.
It doesn't take away. It doesn't take away the performance and the storyline that is in this episode, which I do like. I'm just like, be careful, you guys, because, you know, maybe just let some things be some things. Anyway.
Yeah.
You want to talk about the fucking bear?
You know, I do.
Not the show about set in Chicago. Not Yes Chef, the bear, but the actual animal, the bear, in this episode.
That's good because I don't know anything about that other guy. Okay, so my notes are, they made a bear. It's very large.
Undo it.
Hulu subtitling brackets, low chuffing.
Yes, I actually saw that low chuffing bracket myself.
It's good, and I like it. Oh no! What are the odds that the one time this enormous bear wanders into the camp that Natalie would be off somewhere with the gun? This is, let's see. Is this bear a grizzly bear? A Kodiak? It's
Jenny asking the girl who one time in the woods saw a bear and screamed panther. So I don't think I'm the one.
That's true. Yeah, whatever kind of bear this is, it's definitely in the family of like the big brown ones that will eat you.
Yeah, it's not the kind that will run away when you stomp your foot.
Yeah. But this bear has other ideas. This bear says, to heck with my innate ideas about how I should conduct myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to just submit to Lottie Matthews and let her give me a little stab.
Yeah, the bear like puts his neck out just so. So like, you know what I mean? He's like, right here, pal. This is where you got to do it to make it swift and easy.
She's like, poke.
And that bear goes down. This is a gorgeous scene. Like cinematically, this is very beautiful.
This is what you want out of life. If you had a frame, you know those like electronic frames where you can have like a little looping video. This is what you would want.
Yeah, it would be like a picture of me and my sister at the beach, and like a picture of the cats, and then a picture of Lottie Matthews and this bear.
Mm-hmm. Good. Yes, correct.
My note is Lottie and this bear and these Doc Martens. Just delicious. Everybody. Lottie dressed nice again for the bear. Also, this episode is full of hits. This is, I think, the first needle drop, maybe. All I Want to Do is Zoom, Zoom, Zoom. Starts playing right after Lottie kills this bear. I like it. A good choice Kristin Russo would have made. Definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting transition choice.
It gets me. Clearly, they have fun with their music choices. At least I think they do, because they're constantly cutting from the woods to the reunion. And so they're using what's playing at the reunion to like get us over to the reunion. But it makes for some, I think, hilarious dissonance in the woods. So, I mean, Jenny, since we're talking about the bear, do you kind of want to talk about all that the bear brings? I mean, it sort of gives us a big conversation between Van and Ty. It gives us a big
division. Let's do it.
All right. Got a little X-Files chat between our queers, very on brand for the queers.
Mm-hmm.
Van is wearing the bone again. I don't know where the bone has been. Van wasn't wearing the bone? She didn't wear it to Doomcoming?
You know, I haven't been tracking the bone.
The magic bone.
Yeah.
I love this. I love Van's. It's hard because like by the end of this, it's like, oh, is this like a cult? Is that what's happening? Right? This is like the cult of Lottie Matthews. But in the beginning, and the way that it begins in the woods, maybe this is the danger of a cult, because at the beginning, I'm like, no, this is what you should be doing. You should be honoring this bear just laid down on it, like in the, you gotta, is happening. You gotta pray to the fucking dirt gods and the fucking, that's correct. And that's the side the Van is on, you know. But Bone is back around her neck, and she's saying to Ty, like, you got to stop making fun of this shit because, like, I saw something when I was half dead and half alive in those woods. I know what I saw, you know, and Ty is taking, like, the classic path of it was a near-death experience. What you saw was, like, these neurons aligning with these bliggity blanks and whatever, you know, just, like, really trying to explain it using the Scully, right? Like, Ty is the Scully here and Van is the Mulder. And Van is like, I saw something. Something was out there with us. And Ty doesn't believe it, but does say that it's not a problem, that this is how Van believes, and they hug. So, you, like, is it going to be
said
okay?
exactly like somebody who doesn't mean that it's not a problem.
Yeah. It doesn't feel... I mean, listen, I don't know where Van is in 2021, but she's not married to Thaisa, so at some point, something must go awry. Do you think that Scully is too good for Mulder, Jenny?
No.
I don't know yet. I don't have an opinion on that. My hunch would have been no, but I'll let you know after I watch the series.
I haven't done a critical watch in a number of years, though, so, you know, the vibes could be off now, but... I
guess we'll just have to watch the X-Files together.
I guess so. Get some answers.
My next note in the bear segment is bear kebabs, which is not really in line with the spirituality of it all, but I'm just really appreciative that they make bear kebabs.
Well, I guess when you've got that much meat, that big of an animal, what are you gonna do? It's not like it's not like putting a rabbit on a stick over the fire, right?
Yeah, you can't rotate a whole bear over a fire. That would take
at least not with the resources these girls have.
But yeah, I mean, this conversation really grows to a fever pitch in the cabin. And we start to really see some camps being formed, you know, like Misty and Van top amongst, really like flanking Lottie as the top believers and the top, the people who most want to give thanks for what has happened.
Van definitely wants to give thanks. What do you think Misty's angle is?
I think Misty wants friends. I think Misty... Yeah. Do you know that episode of Friends where Rachel starts smoking just because she wants to talk to her boss and the coworker? She's like, her coworker is like gonna get promoted because she smokes and the boss smokes, so Rachel takes up smoking just so she can be outside. That is what Misty is doing here. Misty is taking up religion so that she can be in the friend circle.
Yep.
Yeah. Jackie, not on the side of Lottie Matthews at all.
No. Jackie's never heard of anything so stupid in her life. But honestly, to her credit,
yeah,
all these people did terrible things to her last night.
Yeah, which maybe is the other side of this. Like, well, it is nice to give thanks to, you know, whatever is providing sustenance for you in the woods here. But also, wait, the person who's giving thanks also helped lock you in a closet and like took your nightgown in her fucking hands to show everyone the blood stain on it after you had sex with Travis. Like, that would give me a little pause too. I don't know that I would want to follow a religious leader who also did those things. So yeah, credit to Jackie. I think Jackie, I think I understand a lot about Jackie's choices in this episode, to be quite honest. I mean, one of her lines is, we're not going to talk about it. We just howl at the moon and have orgies now. Like, this is a solid point. Like, why is nobody talking about what the fuck happened? Why?
Dude, because all of them want to, none of them want to have to face what they did. Also, they didn't know that they were tripping. Yeah. They just did that.
Yeah, that is
They
true.
were like, we're slightly buzzed from our berry wine. And this is a completely acceptable course of events to follow under those circumstances. What?
Yeah. Oh, God. The other big division, apart from who is in camp Lottie Matthews and who is in camp non-believer, is this fight between Jackie and Shauna. I will say, again, I identify with Mari in the division of Camp Lottie Matthews versus Camp Non-Believer. Mari's like, I don't give a fuck. I just want some fucking bear meat. Can everyone shut up? Yes, Mari.
Dude.
You are me. I am you. I like you.
Also, wait, before we move into the fight, Jackie's line that you mentioned where she's like, we just howl at the moon and have orgies now. Coach is like, wait, what? and in what will soon become a pattern, people are like, shut up, Coach. Shut the fuck up, Coach. Don't worry about it, Coach.
Yeah,
it's above your pay grade, Coach.
Coach Ben is just literally horrified and confused for the entire episode. There is not one moment where he's not horrified. He boiled water for them to drink for their hangover, and that was the last moment of peace he knew in this episode. Oh, okay. Wow. Here we go. Are you ready for the throwdown of a fucking century? Jackie v. Shauna. Ding, 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 ding.
Geez, until very recently, you know, like one would have placed their money on Jackie. But the distribution of power has changed.
Yeah, I mean, you know, cut up a few deer and seems like you get cut up a few deer and grow a human inside of you, and it turns out you get a little more powerful.
Yep.
Shauna is ready to throw down. Jackie, in a move that I don't agree with, but I like, you know, on its face, but that I, again, have some room for since she is being dragged over the coals for having slept with Travis and was literally locked in a closet for doing so, is like, hey, everybody, Shauna literally was fucking my boyfriend before we were stranded in the wilderness and is pregnant with his fucking child. Like, I don't love it, but also I get it.
Yeah, this makes sense to me. Why wouldn't she? Based on the rules that have been recently established.
This is a hurtful, realistic teenage fight. They are going, not they, Shauna is going in for every damaging thing she could possibly say to Jackie after this is revealed. After Shauna finds out Jackie read her fucking journal and
yes, her journal.
And she knows that this is Jeff's baby. All that she wants is to have Jeff's baby. She's in the woods now. All that she wants is to have Jeff's baby. No. Jenny took an edible. Jenny ate an edible before the taping of this episode. And I have to say, as the time passes, she's finding me funnier and funnier. And I'm thrilled about the development.
Me too. I love finding you funnier and funnier.
But yeah, here we go. Shauna, how would you know that I didn't like Jeff? You're so obsessed with yourself. I'm surprised you even know other people exist. You tell me, here's my favorite moment from Shauna. You tell me what to wear, what to do. I don't even like soccer.
She doesn't even like soccer.
There's this bookmark, like a paired line with there wasn't a book club.
Yeah. Oh, imagine not even liking soccer and then crashing in the woods for 19 months
while pregnant. Like, it's just a lot going on for Shauna. Oh, then Jackie coming out. Is that sad little sidekick mad? It must be hard being this jealous all the time.
So stressed out watching this fight.
I know. And like everybody, my favorite shots during the fight are everyone else watching the fight who looks exactly like we do at home sitting on our couches like, oh, shit. Shauna says she feels sorry for Jackie because she's weak. And deep down, Jackie knows it. At home, they're all mourning the loss of their princess, but they will never know how tragic and boring you really are, or how high school was the best your life was gonna get. Now Jackie is sad, and I'm sad, and I want Shauna to take it back because this is not good, and I feel sad inside.
I don't like when our girlies fight.
Do you want to finish? Do you want to finish off this fight?
Oh, yeah, this is, oh no. Oh no. Know your limits, Jackie. Cultivate situational awareness. Jackie tries to kick Shauna out of the cabin. But somehow Shauna turns it around on her. And Coach is like, look, nobody's going outside. And everyone's like, shut up, Coach. Shut the fuck up.
Misty has like pulled out her cheerleading pom-poms. Misty is so fucking into this fight. She can't even stand herself. She is having a blast. Mari kind of giving the final door slam here. Maybe you'd be better off since we're all so crazy, because Jackie has gone off about like how she's not praying to the dirt gods for a brain dead bear.
I think the people who didn't chase Travis through the woods and put a knife to his throat and put a pine cone in his mouth and slurp all over him should be the people sleeping outside.
I agree.
If you didn't do that, you get to sleep inside.
Yes. Oh God.
So Jackie huffs out and she's like, her parting words to Shauna are, I don't even know who you are anymore. And Shauna says, maybe you never did.
This is
Do you ever have a best friend breakup in high school?
In high school? Not in high school, no. I did have a best friend breakup in like post-college, but not in high school. Did you?
Nothing so dramatic as that.
Yeah, I was busy like I was definitely like an observer of best friend breakups more than, again, putting me in the position of Mari, than the actual person in the breakups themselves. But let me tell you what, this is not the last words you want to have said to your best friend before she goes out and lays down in the snow. No. I mean, it's not snow yet, but it will be. And this is like, I mean, it couldn't be any worse. It couldn't be any worse than this.
It's so bad. Justice for Jackie. She deserved better.
She deserved better. And like,
bless her sweet little heart. And there's never been a more precious girl who was simply made up of 3 emojis: one eye, one mouth, and one more eye.
It's just like, you know, yes, justice for Jackie. I really wish there was just like the tiniest bit of lighter fluid in that Bic lighter that she found, just the smallest bit, and we wouldn't be where we are now. But there wasn't. And the girl did not know how to make a fire. But like also the trauma, I mean, clearly I don't think it's a trauma competition for these girls. They're all pretty fucked up. But like adult Shauna, in the context of carrying a baby fathered by her best friend's boyfriend, telling that best friend to go fuck herself, essentially, and then never getting to ever say anything to that person ever again because they froze to death in the fucking snow. Like, I
personally am making a note right now to never let the sun go down on angry words between me and my friend who's about to freeze to death.
Right? Just don't do it. Sic Gloria Transit Mundi, you guys. You don't know when it's going to go away. Don't. Ooh. All right. Well, if we're staying in 96, I guess we have to talk about the Jackie of it all. This is devastating. And was a pretty big surprise, though, when we watched the series again. We're like, how were we surprised by this? Because it seems written all over season 1. But
yeah.
Whoops.
Even after the Taylor family memorial brunch
I know.
and everything, nobody was like, it felt like people thought Jackie like was probably dead, but nobody was like, Jackie's definitely dead.
Yeah.
Nobody was holding out hope, trying to see what kind of curveball the show was going to throw.
Yeah. Very few people, I think, thought that we were going to get the definitive answer here, is the thing.
Yeah. So we see Jackie outside by the fire, having built a tiny blaze. She somehow gets something lit.
Yeah.
And Shauna's watching her from the attic, and Ty's like, just go talk to her.
Ugh.
And Shauna's like, no, I'm going to get in my bedroll.
Yeah.
Which, like, I understand sometimes. Sometimes you're angry.
Yeah, and like this is classic. Like I do think that when a relationship between two people has like one person who's more dominant than the other, like when that other person is like, I'm going to assert my dominance, they're going to go all the way, right? Like because this is the first time that Shauna has said, really said, fuck you, Jackie. So she's not going to go talk to Jackie because she's like exercising this piece of her that she's never exercised before. And I think she probably feels like if she doesn't hold on to it, she's just going to go back to being the same Shauna again, who like wears what Jackie tells her to wear and does what Jackie tells her to do and all that stuff. I would love to talk to little Shauna and help her through some of her trauma.
I know.
But
instead of getting to have a conversation with her, what we get is a scene that is a dream, but we don't know it yet. Shauna comes out to the fire and tells Jackie that she's sorry and asks her to come inside. She does, and everyone's lined up to welcome her back in, and you're like, uh-oh, your skin starts to crawl, and they wrap a blanket around her. They bring a mug of some, Lottie's like, here, drink this, it'll help. And she's like, hot chocolate? How?
That's the moment.
Like,
if you didn't already know when they were in a line by a glowing blaze, then you know when this bitch drinks hot chocolate. That
Yeah. And Shauna's like, I love you. And everyone's like, we all love you, Jackie. And you're like, eek. And then, oh no. It's Laura Lee saying it's not as bad as you thought, is it? I'm happy to see Laura Lee again, but at what cost, Kristin? At what cost? And then, are you ready?
I'm not. I don't want to talk about it. Do we have to?
You don't want to talk about Jacques, a.k.a. skeleton buddy enfleshed. He's standing in the corner saying, so glad you're joining us. We've been waiting for you. Yeah.
This is the face that we see in the credits. We can now talk about it openly. Skeleton
there
Buddy, he was with us all along.
He was.
God.
He's like, welcome to the woods. I've been waiting for you. Welcome to the woods. Uh-oh. Terrible news, Kristin.
Oh, no.
Shauna wakes up. And this doesn't seem good. She can see her own breath, and she looks outside, and it has snowed. And she's like, no. And she runs outside to the fire pit and digs in the snow and pulls back the blanket, uncovering a very blue, seemingly very dead Jackie Taylor. Pray for the repose of the soul of Jackie Taylor.
This is so
This sucks.
sad.
And hey, you know who's doing a great job in this scene? Young Shauna.
Mm-hmm.
What a great scream cry performance. It's very good.
It's so incredible. I have the same note that like she like really probably could have done anything and it would have been like, okay, you know, Jackie's dead and we have all this backstory. We've seen the fight. So it's like there for you. But she takes it like 3 levels above that with this. And honestly, like young Thaisa right there next to her, the combo of the two of them and their like horror, but especially young Shauna, is an unbelievable performance. Jenny, something that I want to draw a line betwixt.
Okay, I'm ready.
Is just, And this is like, it's not a big revealing thing. It's just that, the van of it all saying so clearly to Thaisa in the woods, I was in this in-between stage. I wasn't alive and I wasn't dead. And I saw something and I know what I saw. Combined,
did she see Skeleton Buddy?
She saw Jacques too, right? Like, I mean, because we know that Jackie is dying in this dream sequence, like this is what Van was talking about. This is what Van was literally describing to Thaisa.
Okay.
What is happening? What does Jacques want? Who is Jacques? Who is Skeleton Buddy? What does he have to do with Triangle Buddy? I want answers, Jenny. I can't wait until 2023.
I know. Good thing we have like other stuff to distract us between now and then.
Yeah, just a couple things. Oh my God. Can we move to the present day? Is it time to clean up the fucking murder scene with Misty Quigley?
Suit up and get those gloves on, Kristin, because it's Dismember o'clock.
Jenny, Misty Quigley has roommate Kathy vibes, is what I wrote down.
Oh, yep.
Labeling
correct.
Labeling her Tupperware. Like, it's possible that Kathy grew up into being adult Misty,
Oh, for sure.
For those inexperienced in the Buffyverse, Kathy is Buffy's college roommate in season 4 of Buffy the Vampire
For
Slayer.
one episode.
For one episode. Also part demon, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah.
Misty needs supplies, and she knows where to get them. Why? She's waltzing around the nursing home with her "Don't Ruffle My Feathers" tote bag over her shoulder. She notices that Gloria, who we met way back at the beginning of the season, has died of a stroke. Misty says she was so young. Her coworkers reply, she was 89.
Misty says, listen, you can't tell gender by looking at people, okay? But there's a man and a woman changing these sheets in the room. Misty Quigley says, just came by to grab my Tupperware. You ladies have fun. And then walks out the door.
Ma'am? She's very resourceful. And so as soon as she realizes someone has died, she wants to get the deets on the service. I wonder why. And her coworkers don't know, but don't worry. She can just ask Kenny at the morgue. He's always got the 411. She is very close to Kenny. At this point in the viewing, Jess turned to me and asked if Misty killed Gloria to create the convenient situation of a casket that's about to be incinerated. What do you think?
That's an incredible, astute point. I would like to braid it into the narrative here because it does seem, yeah.
She's with Nat.
But
it's daytime.
Are we? Yeah, I guess that does bring up the question of passage of time. Like, we left the end of the last episode. Nat was there at Misty's and was like, we need your help to clean up a body. Misty smiled. The episode ended. But like, Shauna is still standing over the body of Adam in the house. So I guess you're right. I guess it couldn't have been that she killed Gloria unless she no, there's no way, because you're right. Nat didn't go anywhere. No time passed. So it's just convenient. I liked it though.
Well,
also, just a hat tip to the writers who must have had some foresight into the titles of these episodes, because Gloria has been a character since, right? Did she have a name in the beginning?
Oh,
maybe she didn't, but I love the Gloria overlap here with the title. It's nice.
Yeah, I can't remember if Misty calls her Gloria or just maybe like Mrs.
Right.
DeGennaro.
Oh yeah. Well, it is DeGennaro. You better have some fucking New Jersey picks, because this whole episode is just New Jersey from the top to the bottom. So
yeah, I got some picks.
Great.
Okay, so what do you need to dispose of a body? Gloves, waste disposal bags, oxygenated bleach. And Nat's like, why didn't we just buy this stuff? And Misty's like, oh, you fool. I once was as young and green as the summer grass, just like you. 12%. Don't you realize 12% of all killers are caught buying cleaning supplies? Is this true?
It sounds true. I didn't look it up because I felt like I just believed Misty.
Does regular bleach really leave behind hemoglobin that luminol tests can pick up? But oxygenated bleach doesn't?
That has to be true. Why would they put that in?
And if it's true, is it a good idea to put it on a Showtime show? Okay, Kristin.
Mm-hmm.
Let's broker a deal.
Okay.
Let's broker a deal. When you negotiate a deal, you're always ultimately a good deal will have like both sides be equally happy or equally unhappy, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think this is actually a deal. We're about to witness a deal that is deeply out of balance, if that's the golden standard we're reaching for.
The deal between Nat and Misty?
That's right.
Okay.
Misty gets to help dispose of a body. And she also gets Natalie to come to the 25-year reunion.
It's true. It's a win-win for Misty.
No one has ever had leverage on Misty in their life.
Oh, God. So Nat, this is smart in the writer's room because Nat definitely would not have fucking gone to the reunion. So good writing to get her there. But before we get to go to Jenny's favorite place, the high school reunion of the class of 1996, let's talk about the cleanup itself. Fucking Misty. I mean, Christina Ricci deserves every fucking nomination that she got. Well, aren't we a bunch of gloomy Gusses? Who died? Ha 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 ha.
Who died? LOL at the murder scene.
Incredible.
Oh, God. Misty also uses the word murder, and Shauna's like, why does everyone keep using that totally inappropriate word?
Shauna, honey, you got to stop trying to write your own narratives.
Buddy.
Oh, God. Also, Shauna, you took Adam's fucking phone to your fucking house and put it in the fucking safe? Honestly, Callie should have been in on this murder. Callie would have been a huge asset to this fucking murder.
Oh, yeah. Callie would have been very helpful.
Oh, my God. Put Callie and Misty in charge of the whole operation, honestly. The two of them would really knock it out of the park.
Well, Misty is definitely taking charge here, as you'd expect. She's given people instructions. Wipe your phone. Destroy the SIM card. Do the same with Adam's phone. I didn't see any security cameras, so I guess we're just disposing of evidence. She's so happy.
She's having the time of her life.
She's like, Shauna's the best with a knife. Obviously. Because she stabbed him and now he's dead.
Like literally a kid in a candy shop. Every joke she's ever wanted to make is appropriate in this scenario. So Shauna and Nat get assigned to team dismemberment. And, well, Shauna does, and Nat is supportive because everyone is like, oh, this is fucked. We're all fucked up, but this is fucked up even for us. You okay, Shauna? And she's like, I guess so. It's like riding a really gross, fucked up bike, she says to Natalie.
Yeah.
Woo. Yeah, and we talked about the Nat and Shauna of it all. A pretty big and important conversation between them here that illuminates, I think for Natalie that there may be other things she should look at, other possibilities. And that also, I think, illuminates for us that everyone is really having a difficult time being alive in their circumstances, that this is a hard thing to keep putting one foot in front of the other when this is what you've been dealt.
Yeah. In the other room, Misty, she's really, this is just her element. She's in her natural habitat. She's like, I just got the craziest deja vu. And then she tells Ty that she voted for her, and she only registered so she could get jury duty. She was like, I need to get some hot jury duty, and the only way to do it is to register to vote. What?
This bitch sitting at jury duty with her coconut LaCroix. You know what I mean? Just living her Misty Quickly life. Jenny, out comes Shauna and Nat. They've done as instructed. They have the head and the hands in the bag because those are the ways that you identify a body. You don't want fingerprints. You don't want teeth. But a torso is useless, as Misty says. So the torso's just chilling, draining in the tub. Here's where it gets even more New Jersey than it has been. Misty says, put it all in a suitcase. I'll take the head and the hands. I'm going to deal with those. Put the rest of the shit in a suitcase. Bury it in Hacklebarney Park. Okay, that is a park in New Jersey. Bodies have, in fact, been found there. Misty has a shovel in the trunk that Shauna can borrow. Now, here's where the New Jersey of it all cranks up to 11. Jenny, there are two. When you look up Hacklebarney Park, New Jersey, on Wikipedia, there are two pop culture references. One is Yellowjackets, right here. Please bury the body, bury the torso in Hacklebarney Park. Second pop culture reference is in The Sopranos, the episode From Where to Eternity. A mafia execution was described as taking place in the park, though the scene was actually filmed in the Paramus borough of Bergen County.
Oh.
But alas, our Sopranos, Yellowjackets universe overlap that we love is here in real form.
Hell yes.
Jenny, in my notes, it says 25th reunion. I don't know if you had any more to talk about in the murder cleanup of 2021, but if not, we're going.
As a podcast network, our focus is bringing you shows you love to listen to. But we also sell merch related to those shows. And partnering with Shopify has made that both possible and simple for us to do. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor adventures, Shopify helps you sell everywhere because they've got you covered, from their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system. What's so fantastic about Shopify is how, no matter how big you want to grow, they provide everything you need to get control of your business so you can take it to the next level. Businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm. That's all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/realm.
Hey, it's Kaylee Cuoco for Priceline. Ready to go to your happy place for a happy price? Well, why didn't you say so? Just download the Priceline app right now and save up to 60% on hotels. So whether it's Cousin Kevin's Kazoo Concert in Kansas City, go Kevin, or Becky's Bachelorette Bash in Bermuda, you never have to miss a trip ever again. So download the Priceline app today. Your savings are waiting.
Go to your happy place for a happy price. Go to your happy price, Priceline.
I was hoping that we could play a sound clip.
Oh, I have it. I have the timestamp for you, friend.
Oh, good. Okay.
Did you like me to play that sound clip for you right now?
Well, let's set it up. We're here at the 25th anniversary. Randy and Jeff are chatting. The ladies have yet to arrive. Randy and Jeff are chatting, and Randy is stressed.
Randy should have never been involved in this operation. Poor Randy.
No, oh, Jeff, you sweet dummy. I love you.
Me too.
Allie finds them, and it begins. She calls Jeff Your Highness. She touches his arm and says, "Wow, somebody's been working out." Then she goes on to reveal, of course, she's seen his commercials, but with all of the filters and the face tunes, you never really know. Randy says hi, and she says, "Oh, hi, Randall." Just absolutely no time for Randy. And then she mentions that she is class chair of a class that she was not a member of. She wasn't in this class, but somehow she's the class chair. And she says these reunions are an important way to honor our trauma bond.
I don't know if you know this, but I was supposed to be on the plane that day. Literally, every aunt I have has said some version of that sentence in some context in their lives. Okay.
Yeah.
And my mother, all of them.
And then Allie says what we've all been waiting for, the real climax of the show. Allie explains why this reunion really counts.
And this is the big one. 10? Who cares? 20? Everyone is busy with kids, careers. But 25, that's reunion pay dirt, baby.
When she says, "That's reunion pay dirt, baby," she does this little dance that just makes me really want to know. It makes me wonder even more than I was already wondering. What else does this woman have in her life?
Allie or the actress?
Allie. What's she get up to in between landmark reunion years?
Clearly drinking wine, having affairs with men, and talking about that with her girlfriends, except for the ones whose men that she's sleeping with that she avoids.
Okay.
I mean, it's just a hunch, you know? I was going to say earlier, Jenny, that, and I do think that your choice is the choice, right? This is the line, but I actually have a different favorite line, maybe of the series, right? Because I said my favorite moment of the series is when Misty knocks Nat over to sniff all of her cocaine. But my favorite line, I believe my favorite line in the whole series, and when this moment happened, I laughed so fucking hard, like out of my toes, is later when Allie is standing on stage and she goes, we hear this man from off stage be like, "Rah, rah," and she says, "Shut the fuck up, Doug. You're a grown man." And I die. I love Allie so much. If we don't get more Allie in season 2, I will protest. I will make a sign. I will picket outside the fucking Showtime studios. Shut the fuck up, Doug.
Yeah.
You're a grown man.
Yeah.
This is the New Jersey realness that I show up for, okay? I understand we can't have this level of New Jersey realness in all of our main characters because it would be overwhelming. But thank God for Allie. They were strong. They were courageous. An inspiration. Sorry, Jenny. I'm done now. I'm done.
While Allie, Jeff, and Randy are pre-gaming at the dawn of the reunion, our girls are getting up to their various tasks. They're running their quick errands before they get dressed for the reunion. Here are their errands. Misty's to-do list. Go to funeral. Pretend the deceased and I were very close. Put a head and hands of a recent murder victim into the casket of the deceased that's about to be incinerated.
Brilliant.
Thais's to-do list. Walk through empty house. Question recent life decisions. Take a little shower. Get a little dress on.
And cry. She cries too.
And cry. Shauna's to-do list. Cry in shower. End of list. Natalie's to-do list. Brush hair. End of list.
Brush hair, look hollow is my full list for Natalie.
Jeff got Shauna yet another dress.
Jeff.
Will this woman ever be satisfied? Will she ever have enough dresses?
Honestly, this was the choice, though. This is a good choice.
Yeah. It's nice. And then there's like this, like, you know, somber music, haunted house song is playing, and then there's a pan through a darkened classroom at the high school that has like a women who changed the world.
It's very weird.
Little setup. It's such a odd choice.
It really is. Like, I really didn't notice it the first time. And this time I was like, wait, what? And then there's also a pan like through the fall foliage of New Jersey. I'm like, did they just not have enough footage of women crying to like make it through the full montage?
Yeah, well, actually, by standards and practices, they have a rule about the density of women crying on screen. You have to thin it out to a particular percentage.
Oh, God. They pass the Yellowjackets test when women cry about something that's not a man.
Okay, the ladies are assembling in the hallway outside of the doors to the gym. They're just having their reunion at the gym, I guess.
Yeah.
Shauna's like, how is it possible that this is the most scared I have been all day? And this feels right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go to a high school reunion. Do you?
Well, I mean, you know, my 25th high school reunion is actually real soon, and I've heard that it is reunion pay dirt, baby. So I might have to check it out. It is what?
You gonna go cash in your pay dirt?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of curious. Clearly I love the walk. We're going to talk about the walk. But what I love before the walk is that this is like a full play on the getting ready montage, complete with the slow-mo walk in. And instead of the normal montage of getting like all of the girls getting ready, we get the list that Jenny just gave us to very sad music. So smart. So delicious. This walk is the reason I exist, okay? My whole life is wanting to get to do this walk. I would like to do this walk. I am Allie. I'm like, please, can I just stand in the picture with girls who got to do that entrance? Because that is delightful. I am Misty Quigley throwing the picture prop in my hands that I'm holding to the floor, scurrying across the room so that I can insert myself into the walk.
Failing so fast on this poor guy. Who probably didn't even want to be in a picture with Misty to begin with.
I don't know. He probably did. I feel like they're all there for the Yellowjackets of it all.
Oh, you think?
It seems like that. Because when they walk in, everyone's like, holy shit, they're here. You know, like it's very that energy. I want to take a minute, Jenny, to talk about their outfits.
All right.
Shauna, as we said, is wearing the dress that Jeff bought for her. It is a floral dress, black fabric, plunge neckline. Melanie Linsky looks fucking incredible. They all look incredible. Every dress is perfect for every person in this walk. Okay? Thaisa in like a black dress where the top is a like spaghetti strap tank, but then there's this like black mesh over the top of it. Hot. Natalie, green sequins, one shoulder on, one shoulder off, and Misty in a fucking black and white suit. Like, absolutely impeccable. Whoever you are, costume person, people, I'm standing up. I'm not, because the microphone would be too far away from my mouth, but I would be standing up and applauding. It's just great. Everybody looks great. Good job.
You guys, Christina Ricci is so tiny. She's such a wee lass.
She really is. How tall is she?
I'm
like
just looking at a
5'2"?
picture of the four of them together, and it's like, roop. That's the noise of a slope.
Roop. Juliette Lewis and Thaisa, I would imagine, they're the tallest. Juliette Lewis and Thaisa. I'm mixing my realities here.
Who knows how tall anybody's heels are, but in the picture where they seem to all be standing even with each other, Tawny is the tallest, Melanie is second, Juliette is third, and Christina is the shortest.
Okay. I could see Juliette Lewis being somebody who has tall energy, but is actually not as tall as you think she is. She's just all legs. She's 5 feet of legs and 2 inches of torso.
Perfect. Yes.
Oh, God. The song playing, of course, is You Gotta Keep Them Separated. Little Offspring for the crowd. And after this slow-mo walk, we have Allie insert herself into what she calls the photo of the year. Cannot wait to see. What do you think Allie's fucking Instagram caption is on this shit? Hashtag strong, hashtag courageous, hashtag inspiration.
Hashtag trauma bond. Hashtag did you know that I was supposed to be on that flight?
Hashtag Jeff is still hot.
Hashtag no filter, no face tunes.
Oh God, please. I would watch an entire fucking spinoff of just Allie's life. Like, I want like the Real Housewives of fucking whatever county they're in New Jersey, but it's fake and it's just starring Allie. Oh, okay. Should we talk about Randy?
We should.
You know we're going to get more Randy in season 2, right? Like,
oh, to be certain.
Great.
They wouldn't dare not give us more Randy.
I hope that Allie and Randy hook up in season 2. That's what I'm hoping for. I hope that fucking actually Randy gets his divorce and that Allie and Randy have a fucking thing. And they find out what's going on with the Yellowjackets. Oh my God.
Shauna goes to the bar and orders 2 Cabernets, a beer, and a white wine spritzer. All Randy does is show up, and she's like, make that 4 double tequila shots. Like, quicker the better, sir.
Randy being Randy. Oh, we're gonna fucking party. Also, do you think it was Cabernet for Shauna and Thaisa, white wine spritzer for Misty, and beer for Nat?
Definitely.
Great.
Shauna lets Randy know that she knows what he did just now. And then she threatens him graphically.
If you ever tell anyone, I will fucking end you. I will gut you like a pig. And if they find you, which they won't, it won't matter because you will be unfucking recognizable. Randy, so you're mad then? Oh, God. Oh, no. Allie, she really can do very little wrong, but she's taken it a step too far. Okay.
This is... Okay, I got some questions.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. Before... I'm assuming you're getting to, like, the dance?
Yes, I am.
Before that happens, Nat... Okay, Shauna brings back the shots. Misty's like, ooh, I've never done a shot before.
She says, I've never done a shooter before, which is even more special.
Oh, my God. And Natalie makes a toast to old friends. Allie has her shut the fuck up, Doug, you're a grown man moment. And then she begins the evening by saying, worddefinition.net defines a reunion as a union that is happening again. There is no way this is a real definition. It's so funny. They had to write it for Allie.
Oh,
and I won't hear anything different.
No,
a convention of friends or relatives or associates after a period of separation.
I'm dying.
And she's like,
I'm in love.
We're all back here, and it's important for us to remember the Yellowjackets. Hit it, Enya. Enya's like, who can say what I go? And they show us pictures of Laura Lee, and I feel very sad, and also pictures of Travis. Oh no.
Pictures of young Thaisa where you're like, come on, girl, how did no one know you were gay? She has the gayest energy in those young Thai pics.
They kind of squeezed in the middle of the Jackie fight. It's like that's all happening, then the Jackie fight kicks off, then it cuts to a photo of Jackie coming up and Shauna's reaction to it.
Yeah.
And then they just go right back to the fight.
Yeah.
Okay, and now we've got your moment, Kristin. A moment that creates more questions than it does answers for me.
Keep going. I want to hear your questions.
Well, where did we last land? Where did we last land when we discussed when is it? Is it the fall or is it the spring?
Wait, like right now in the reunion?
No, sorry. When did they fly to nationals?
Oh, right. I don't know. I don't remember where we landed.
She says the class king and queen. She doesn't say homecoming. She doesn't say prom. And maybe that's deliberate because by the time they got here, they were like, when did the plane crash?
But also, what if they named Jeff and Jackie homecoming king and queen when Jackie wasn't there?
Yeah, that seems like a pretty reasonable possibility.
Right?
Jackie just said, what, in the last episode, that it was like probably rush week right now.
Right.
And that would be the beginning of the school year. So this could go back to, did they crash in the spring?
I get too confused when I try to think about time. So they're the class of 96, which means it's 95 when they start the school year, right?
Yep.
Okay. So let's say because maybe it's the rush week of, maybe when Jackie says it's rush week, she means they would have been in college rush week, right? Because Shauna's already pretty pregnant by that time. Oh no, she's not. Is she? This is hard for me. Because if they crashed,
maybe you should erase all of this.
If they, I don't know. I feel like maybe our brand is just like, have you listened to that podcast where the two girls just talk for an hour to get really confused about timelines that they could just look up very easily? But like if they crashed towards the end of the year, it is nationals. So they had to be playing for at least a while to get to nationals. So then they could have maybe gone to homecoming because that would have been the fall. Your homecoming is the fall of 95 if you're the class of 96. I mean, technically, it is the class of 95 that is coming home. That is what homecoming is, when the graduating class comes home and they watch the game. It's the homecoming game. It's when all the people who graduated last year come home and watch the football game. So it's 95 for the class of 96. I'd like to remind everyone that Jenny ate an edible right before the taping, and it has been an hour and 21 minutes since the eating of said edible. So I'm trying to explain math to Jenny that I don't even know if it's right, but Jenny is sitting and just staring at something. I can't see what's off screen. It could be like a fucking teddy bear for all I know.
I'm just reading an article on ScreenRant.com, which appears to be written by somebody who has the same concerns that I do.
ScreenRant.com. A union that happens again.
A screen that is ranting. Here we go. Allie. You remember her, a freshman. But then later a senior, I guess. Allie laments that the trip to nationals will cause her to miss prom.
Okay.
Here we go.
So then
which is typically
spring.
Held in May. So then I'm going to say these girls are playing soccer as a spring sport.
Yep.
Right? It's 1996 when the show starts. It's the second half of the school year.
Definitely. They've had their homecoming.
They've had their homecoming, but also the Nationals game made them miss prom, which means they still totally could have crowned Jeff and the absent Jackie prom king and queen.
Definitely.
Okay.
Two things to that end, Jenny. A, it seems absolutely believable that a high school of any kind, but certainly in New Jersey, would crown a missing girl who had just gone missing in a plane crash as their prom queen, 1000%. And two, it also makes 1 bajillion% sense to me that freshman Allie would have been talking about her trauma bond with this fucking team from when she was a freshman in high school, thereby forcing her way into being the class chair and being at this reunion.
Yeah.
Like, I fully buy that.
Yeah, she just sees the opportunity.
Yeah. She was like, I could have died. And she just just played that. She's been playing that card since 1996.
So based on weather, foliage, Shauna's advancing pregnancy, and some other factors, the events of the finale are estimated to take place in September, October. That seems right on track for a
June, July, August, September, October. Yeah, because that would put Shauna at 5 or 6 months, which I think tracks with like the fact that her dress doesn't fit and you can like visibly see that she's pregnant by the end of this.
Yeah.
Well, we're here. We're here to do the math for you that already exists for you on the internet, kids. You're welcome. So, as we were saying,
right,
Shauna and
my
Jeff.
God, are you gonna leave all of that in?
Some of it, not all of it. Shauna and Jeff are tasked by Allie to come and slow dance because Jackie is dead together, because it's what Jackie would have wanted, says Allie.
Oh my Lord.
Incredible song choice. We get not one kiss, not one seal kiss from a rose, but two back-to-back episodes. Seal is also hitting reunion pay dirt. Okay, because Seal's making that sweet cash off of Yellowjackets. That is the song that these two are slow dancing to, and this begins. I would like a love like Jeff and Shauna's from this moment through the rest of the episode. This is beautiful. Jeff, so did you, did they, is he? Shauna, yes, I took care of it, but I think the less you know about it, the better. Hot. We'll go later to where it really kicks up for me when we talk about fucking kitten chili. That I'm all in. I'm all in for kitten chili. But according to my notes, we have to talk about Jessica Roberts and Simone and the Altar of the Dead Dog is how it's written in my outline. So,
great. Okay, Jessica Roberts. Misty comes down to see her in the morning after the reunion. Misty's a little hungover. She's like, I did shots. And internally, Jessica must be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But she's very cool on the outside. And Misty says that the reunion showed her that like people need to hear her story. Okay, interesting. So I have a question. Kristin. Sorry, I should ask my question at the end of us talking about Jessica Roberts.
Okay.
Question temporarily retracted.
Jessica Roberts essentially is like, I would not turn you in for what you've done. My whole fucking job is that I clean up messes for the rich and the powerful, and it's a really fucking shitty ass job. But the money I would make from your book would mean that I would probably never have to fucking do it again. So like, why would I want to fucking do that? I just want to make money. I'm like you. We're out here being wild. So let's do this shit, Misty. And Misty's like, jingle fucking jingle with those keys. Unlocks Jessica Roberts. Start thinking about who you want to play you in the movie. How much do you think that it took the writer's room to not have Christina Ricci say Christina Ricci?
No. You couldn't see that. Like, it would just take you out of it.
I know.
Meryl Streep. Then Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
Jessica gets her purse and she's going through it looking for cigarettes, which she has not been able to smoke for a number of days. Misty put them in the trash. Misty fishes them out at Jessica's urging. Oh, Jessica, you fool. And Misty's like, it's a disgusting habit. And then Jessica gets in her car. You see Misty standing on her porch looking like, welp. She's got this real welp. I murdered this woman, but she doesn't know it yet face. As she drives down the street, Jessica's puffing away, but then, she's getting woozy here. She's driving off the road. Misty put fentanyl in her cigarettes. I assume this is a death.
Yeah, I mean, we don't actually know, but it very much seems like a death. I had no idea that Jenny had the capacity to so casually quote my favorite movie, Scream, but I'm very impressed.
I have two questions for you, Kristin.
Okay.
First of all, do you believe that Jessica Roberts meant what she said? Do you believe that she would have honored her handshake agreement with Misty and gone about looking for a book deal for her?
Absolutely not. I think that Jessica's energy in the car was like, oh my God, I can't believe I fucking got out of that house and I'm going to fucking call the cops on this woman. I think Jessica would have turned her in.
Okay. What about Misty? When she was, at the moments when she was isolated from the rest of the Yellowjackets, she really seemed to be opening up to Jessica. They seemed to be talking to each other a lot more. But then Natalie shows up at a really inopportune moment for Jessica.
Yeah.
And apologizes and asks for Misty's help with Misty's absolute number one favorite activity, getting rid of a dead body.
Yeah.
And to me, I feel like maybe Misty was like really into writing a book, working with Jessica, whatever. And if Natalie hadn't shown up and apologized and, you know, asked her sort of to come back into the group and help out, I think Misty might have done it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. That's a hard one because I think like ultimately Misty just wants to be loved and like wants to have like a crew of people who like are Team Misty. But I think Misty's team loyalty is something that's very real. Like as illustrated by the fact that even though she was in love with Coach Ben and fully believed that Coach Ben was in love with her, she still chose to go with Ty and Van and the rest of everybody into the woods because she felt like it was her responsibility. I think that is stronger for her than anything else. So I don't think she would have given in to writing the book, even if Nat hadn't shown up and asked her to do her favorite thing in the world. What do you think?
Oh, I said I think that she might have ended up working with Jessica because she just like.
I mean, her and Jessica did have like a total, like they really did. They were great together.
Yeah.
So maybe. I don't know. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think. I'm curious to hear what people think about this question. You know what I don't think, Jenny, is that Jessica Roberts would have smoked that fucking cigarette. This was something about this episode that really upset me.
I think you said something like Kristin Russo would smoke that cigarette. Jessica Roberts would not.
Just like, I mean, the woman is on Misty's level. She has been like intimately studying Misty for however long she's been locked in that room. And somebody, maybe you, maybe somebody else was like, yeah, but like she hadn't had a cigarette in days. Like she probably just like really needed that fucking cigarette. And I'm like, yeah, but. And like, I love the brilliance of Misty throwing the cigarettes away to like send Jessica off the scent that maybe there's something wrong with the cigarettes. I just really think that Jessica Roberts would have known. I really, really think that she would have never taken. I mean, as much as I think Natalie should have known there was a camera in that fucking owl, like, I think that Jessica Roberts should have known not to fucking smoke a cigarette that Misty Quigley has put in her trash or touched or looked at or had in her possession. Come on now. And what the fuck would Misty have done if she didn't smoke that cigarette? Did she have a backup plan?
Maybe her backup plan was sell the book. Yeah.
Oh, God. Well, R.I.P. Jessica Roberts. My last note in the R.I.P. Jessica Roberts section is all caps. How does she not know? And then in parentheticals, Misty's creepy wave. Because Misty's creepy fucking wave from the doorway. It's like, goodbye, I've killed you.
Yeah.
All right. Simone and the altar of the dead dog. Oh, no. This was the thing that made me when I watched this in real time, I was furious about this. Furious. I've calmed down a little bit, but I was like raging mad about this scene.
Tell me more.
I just feel like it's so fucking over the top. And like, I didn't need it to be, I didn't need this. The show had given me, I mean, listen, people have plenty of problems with plenty of things in this show, but Kristin Russo was flying high. Like, I was just all in on everything they had given me pretty much until here, because I felt like the altar was already too much for me. The bloody Triangle Buddy, how dare you do that to my Triangle Buddy? How dare you?
The Triangle Bloody?
Okay, well, it was worth it for that. The dog head? And then is that the heart of the dog? Whose heart is that?
It appears to be the dog's heart, I guess.
It's so over the top for me. And it's the only thing that gives me pause about season 2, because season 2 best not be going down this kind of path. That is not what we signed up for.
Well, would you consider, because we didn't talk about it, the very last moment of the episode in 1996, Lottie places the bear's heart in the hollow tree stump. So I'm wondering if there's a specific significance that's going to spring from that with regard to animal hearts.
Right.
In terms of the wilderness.
Right.
Also, she kneels and Van and Misty kneel behind her. And in French, she says, "Shed blood, my beautiful friends." And in English, she says, "And let the darkness set us free." And then it's like, ooh, ah, ah, ah.
I mean, maybe, okay. But if they were gonna do that, if they are gonna do that, heart of the animal that you sacrifice, etc., just show us the heart and leave us wondering what that heart is. Don't put that fucking dog's head there. That's the thing that was I'm rude. Most upset I didn't like about. That. The dog head it was stupid. It's stupid to me. It's stupid.
Yeah, it's too ta-da.
And Sammy, Sammy's doll. It's just like the show plays with horror, but I think Jenny is looking at a Frank level to her left. And I looked at the clock. It is 6:30. Frank is like, it's 6:30 p.m. Do you know where your Jenny is?
Yeah, this is when he starts tapping his watch.
Yeah. But I felt like the subtle horror of this show is doing really, really well for me. And I don't know why they decided to crank it up to this level. And I also don't like that the reveal of like Simone. First of all, my notes for like a long time were just me screaming, "Simone, don't! Simone, why? Simone, stop! Why are you going? Why? Why would you see blood at the bottom of a grate the size of just one human body and crawl into the grate following a trail of blood? Why would anyone do that ever, especially in the state of New Jersey, especially with a wife who is trapped in the wilderness of the Canadian fucking forest? Just don't do that.
No.
But yeah, I just ultimately felt like it was a really hard turn into a place that the show had not been for me at all up until that moment. And then the cap of it was that then they go back to the like election headquarters where Taissa has just learned that she has won the election in an upset. Nobody saw it coming. And they cap this reveal of this bloody dog head and this fucking her child's doll, and everything's so creepy. Simone screaming with this creepy fucking smile on Taissa's face, and I am upset about it. That is not where we were headed. It felt like an unfair twist to me, and I don't think if Taissa had anything to do with the dog's head being down there, I don't think she knew that she did, and I think it was a cheap move to give us a smile that could mean anything, but to situate it exactly so that we think that Taissa is like sacrificing her fucking dog to win the election or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm upset.
I did not make this connection, but noticed some people on Reddit talking about how the bite on her hand from her dirt feast was from Biscuit.
Oh, shit.
Is it accurate? I don't know.
Interesting. I don't know. We'll leave Ty with her evil smile and the dog head and the heart and see what they give us next season. But it was really, I think, the only thing that gave me pause in the whole first season was that.
Yeah, let's just like kick back, have a nice, relaxing little family TV time. Away from the stresses of animal sacrifice.
Jeff and Shauna have never been so in love. They've never been this in love. Sometimes all you need to do is a little shared family murder to bring things back together again.
You know, yesterday I had the... Did I tell you this already? I can't remember if I told you off mic. Yesterday I did a little live stream and I was taking requests and someone was like, it's my and my wife's 10-year wedding anniversary today. That day. They decided to spend a couple hours of their 10-year wedding anniversary with me.
Aww.
Which was really nice. And they were like, could you play something that you think of as romantic? And I was like, yes, I have just the thing. The first song that sprang to my mind was Escape, the Pina Colada song.
I think of you every time I hear that song.
Kristin, I must be in a state, as you know, at the time of this taping, we're about 2 episodes away from being at the end of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yes.
Over on Buffering the Vampire Slayer.
Yes.
And so I am in a real emotional state. And when this person asked for a song, and I was like, oh my God, I love the story of Escape. I love how it's just like one big setup and punchline. I love what the punchline is and how it like both incriminates and also inoculates against incrimination each party simultaneously. For those of you who don't know.
I was going to say, for those of you who don't know, you should explain the plot line of the Pina Colada song.
Yes. Escape, the Pina Colada song by Rupert Holmes. Came out in 1979. And the plot is this. The narrator is a man, and he's like, man, I was just like sick of my lady. We'd been together too long. So I was like cruising the personal ads while she lays next to me asleep in bed. And I come across this ad that says, if you like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain, if you're not into yoga, if you have half a brain, if you like making love at midnight in the dunes on the Cape, then I'm the love that you've looked for. Write to me and escape. This guy sees this ad and he's like, this is the woman for me. I must possess her. So he takes out his own personal ad in verse 2. And that personal ad is like, yes, I like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain. I'm not much into health food. I am into champagne. I've got to meet you by tomorrow noon and cut through all this red tape at a bar called O'Malley's, where we'll plan our escape. And then, Kristin, I sang the final verse, and I had to stop in between every line because I was getting choked up. Tears were welling in my eyes when this man said, so I waited with high hopes, and she walked in the place. I knew her smile in an instant. I knew the curve of her face. It was my own lovely lady. And she said, oh, it's you. And then we laughed for a moment, and I said, I never knew that you like pina coladas, etc., etc., etc. Oh, my God.
Oh, wow. My face hurts from laughing.
It's so tender. It had to be you, they say to one another. It's so sweet.
Wow. Are you proposing that this is the song for Jeff and Shauna?
Why did I start telling you that?
I was talking about Jeff and Shauna being closer than they've ever been, and you sprung into pina colada action.
Oh, right, because you were like, sometimes you just need to do a little murder. I'm like, oh, sometimes you just need to do a little print media-based attempted adultery.
To
discover that your real Gumar was your wife all along.
Wow.
Great. So anyway, Jeff and Shauna are on the TV. They're so in love. They're having a blast watching TV together.
Oh my God.
How sweet.
Shauna is like, I think cats are underrated. I stand up. I applaud for Shauna. Correct. Jeff. That cat better behave itself or it might end up in the chili pot. I die. This is why Jeff and Shauna belong together, because Jeff might be a stand-up dude doing cute things like buying dresses, but he can also joke about his fucking wife who was stranded in the wilderness for God knows how long, doing God knows what, about putting Kat in the chili because she's really good at killing animals and making chili out of them even now.
Yep.
This is a love. This is a love that
Thanks,
knows
Jeff.
no bounds. It's beautiful. Callie comes home. She's like, what the fuck is this shit? I left the two parents who hated each other having affairs on each other, and now these bitches are making popcorn and joking about cat chili? What the fuck?
They like pina coladas, Kristin.
They do. Callie, it's very sweet because they're like, Callie, look at this kid of ours. She's such a bitch. Come sit down, have popcorn with us. We're in love again. And Callie sits down. She sits down. She's like, okay, I'll sign
Not
up.
before saying she has trig homework.
Yes. I actually, so at this point in my live viewing, Jenny was caught up. So we were in real time now. And Jenny had gone down the deepest of all Reddit threads and sent me this Reddit post about trigonometry that it took me like 2 days to read because it was like really intense, you know? I had read the post on trigonometry. I settled in to watch the finale, all excited. Callie said this shit and I like rocketed up like 40 feet in the fucking air. I was like, oh my God, she said the fucking word again. And I just read this whole Reddit post about trigonometry. The whole thing about trigonometry, which we've said in What's the Buzz, but maybe not in the real feed, is that a lot of people hypothesize that Triangle Buddy is actually a mathematical equation of like getting out of the, like trying to find a way out of the woods, right?
Yes. But why would they just leave it all over the woods like that?
Well, you know, Jacques was thinking. He was thinking. He was walking. He was walking. He was thinking. He was putting together his trigonometry. You know, he didn't have a pen and paper. He needed to use a little
right
tree bark and something sharp. Anyway, Callie sits down, does a youthful burn on her parents by saying she didn't know that commercials still existed.
Amazing.
And then
Jeff's so incensed because he's like, hey, I'm in one of those.
I'm in a commercial, you bitch. And then
Adam Martin is missing.
Adam Martin, age 36. In case you wanted to know, the Yellowjackets are approximately 41 to 42. Adam Martin is 36. He is missing. And Callie, who has studied the face of Adam Martin in many occasions that we've brought up in this podcast, is like, oh, what?
Yeah, she's clocking the hell out of that. You know, Kristin, can I make another? Can I say a theory?
You can say whatever you want now. We're at the last episode.
Right. There is no What's the Buzz in this episode because this
is the buzz, as a matter of fact.
Right. So popular theory for, you know, at different times, Javi is Adam, Adam is Javi. The last name thing is compelling. You'd think, though, even after, you know, 25 years that, like, Shauna might know what Javi would look like. But do we know for a fact that Javi and Travis didn't have another brother?
Oh, right. I remember this. Coming up in conversation.
Just something else to think about as we think about.
Oh yeah, didn't you have like a whole theory about the fact that the Travis and Javi's dad, the coach who died on a tree branch in the woods, was in a fight with his wife because the way she says goodbye to him, she's like really mad.
Yes.
So like then there was like the theory that coach had an affair and that woman had given birth to Adam Martin. There was also a theory that Adam Martin was actually transgender, formerly one of the Yellowjackets members who froze to death in the woods. The theories about who Adam was were absolutely wild. Melanie Linsky was like, y'all are out of your fucking minds with these Adam theories. But all that to say, we don't know who Adam is. And I'm certain that Adam is not just Adam Martin, innocent dude who got in a fender bender in more ways than one with Shauna.
Wow.
That's right.
Woo!
Callie should give the kids from Ozark a call. I feel like they all have some stuff in common. Parents who commit murders and, do fucked up shit. And they're like, I guess I got to get on board with this and learn how to do murders myself. Cannot wait to see where Callie's storyline goes in season 2.
Yeah, I am looking forward to it.
Yep. And I guess we're at the end here.
The Nat Napping, as you've named it in the show notes.
I did name it the Nat Napping. I was proud of myself, as I usually am.
God.
So Natalie, this is rough. This is really rough. Natalie, who is coming to terms with the fact that Travis did kill himself, is now going to kill herself. Something symbolic about the fact that it's a rifle that she's using, because that is what her and Travis used in the woods all the time. She's got this rifle. Is it their rifle from the woods, right? Because she had that rifle in the back of the car.
Could be.
It's
she also cleans up the whole apartment.
Yeah.
And that includes throwing away the autopsy photos.
Right.
She's letting things go.
Yeah. Yeah. And so she's sitting in the bed about to do this thing. I'm not sure she would have. I don't know. We'll never know. But the phone starts ringing. Suze, are you eating some cookies from the NA meeting, Suze?
Yes.
Suze is calling, and then the door busts in, and 3 people wearing really nice pastel sweatsuits and gorgeous Triangle Buddy necklaces
that they got on eBay. No, sorry, that they got on Etsy.
Definitely Etsy. Come in and kidnap Natalie.
They grab her, they throw her in the back of a van while Susie leaves a voicemail that's like, I found out who emptied Travis's account. Now I think I'm being followed. Who the fuck is Lottie Matthews? Okay, this is on par with the biscuit altar. It's like we didn't have to crank it all the fucking way up.
Right.
And in fact, I think it would have been served well to not be so cranked up, because this information is terrifying and makes me want to see the next season, but could have been, done a little bit more subtly.
Yeah. Well, and
to greater effect, I think.
I think the show did a lot with its subtlety. Not everything, but it left more to be desired, but not in a way that felt obnoxious. And I don't know. I mean, is it is there pressure on a first season's finale to hook viewers in a way that we're not aware of? That makes
there's pressure on a first episode. There's pressure on a pilot.
Right.
I can't imagine the pressure. And I'm going to guess this episode got made before they got renewed, even though I think they got renewed in the middle of the season.
Yeah. Yeah. But when they were making it to be able to continue and to keep telling their story. And this is the shit I would like to hear, and maybe it exists, but I would just love to hear some of the things that the writers wanted to go to bat for, some of the things they had to concede to, etc. But I agree. It's I mean, I don't know. You said this is too much too soon. Do you if you were to have the scene have happened, would you have had Natalie kidnapped by folks? Would you have known that Triangle Buddy was involved? Would you have not had Lottie Matthews' name said? Which piece or all of them would you have kicked to the curb for this season?
I think what really puts it over the top for me is Susie's voicemail, which I just think, I don't know. It's just hard to by the escalation
Mm-hmm.
or something. There's just something about the voicemail that like doesn't quite stick the landing of the whole thing.
Yeah, because I mean, honestly, if you think about the scene without the voicemail at all, Natalie is in bed doing what she's doing. The door busts down. 3 people come in and they're taking Natalie out, and they're wearing, they can have their Etsy necklaces, and that's it. End of season. That to me is more interesting than having any idea that Lottie Matthews is involved. Because then season 2, bring in Lottie Matthews.
Yeah, I mean, and don't tell us who you cast in what roles.
Because clearly, right.
That's pure. Yeah, that's purely what I would like out of life for a mystery show. But
I hope that they toe more of the earlier episode line in season 2, and that we can confirm that like it got dramatic at the end of season 1 because they needed to keep it going. Because I've watched, I mean, if you've watched enough series, you've watched shows you've loved. I mean, Weeds is a show that I like had such an upsetting experience with because I was, oh my God, like head over heels for that show, gasping, clutching my fucking pearls for the reveals in that show. And then it just, you know, it just started to get not great. And then it started to get really not great. And it was just devastating. To me, it's more devastating to love a show and see it fall apart than it is to just be like, this show isn't good. Like,
yeah.
And so I mean, I have faith. I will say I'm going into season 2 with faith. I have faith that they will knock it out of the park, and that's going to be great. And maybe they'll miss a couple marks, but that like overall it'll be good. I believe in these writers, but yeah, some things gave me pause in this finale.
I'm excited for season 2.
Yeah. I mean, it's the last episode. Do you have any predictions for what we're going to see in season 2? I mean, we know some stuff, right? Like we know we're getting adult Van and we're getting adult Lottie. We're getting Elijah Wood playing a citizen detective.
I think the best news we've gotten so far that's all great, really great casting news, whether or not I necessarily wanted to know what it was. But I think the best news we've gotten is that, you know, that it's not coming out probably until 2023 because they needed to take some extra time to get it right.
Yeah.
And if that's the truth, then I'm just happy to hear that people are taking their time, because I don't think that people making television get to take their time very much.
Yeah.
In the modern era.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I was thinking about that with respect to Sandman, which I know you and I have both watched, because I know that that's a series that took a long time. And it's like, I am not usually, Netflix and we don't get along very well. There are a lot of shows on Netflix that I am like, why did this happen like this? And I don't know enough. I'm not LaToya Ferguson up in here with like all the actual facts, but it just really feels to me like Netflix is a place where there's a lot done very quickly. Ratings, algorithm. And so I was really surprised that Sandman was a Netflix show, especially after watching it and loving it. And I thought, wow, maybe this is really what happens when you have like the power, because I'm sure that Neil Gaiman has a lot of fucking power to say, no, not yet. No, not this. I'm waiting until this is right and this is good and blah, blah, blah. And that series was so fun. I thought it was brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
And so hopefully, we'll see some brilliance with them taking their time on this guy. I guess we'll see. Really, really interested in what happens between Taissa and Van. Like very, very, very intrigued to see more of that storyline in 96, 97. We're going to roll into 97 before you know it. They're not going to be able to get us through season 2 without Shauna having something happen to that baby inside of her. So curious to know what's going to happen there. Yeah. And Javi, you guys, will we ever see Javi again?
I think we will.
I fucking hope so. I fucking love Javi. That wolf in that window, took big notice of that while Taissa and Van were arguing in this episode. That little wolf that Javi carved was lit up real nice for us. So I guess I guess we'll see. I'm very excited to watch this in real time.
Kristin Russo.
Oh, yeah. Important questions.
I got an important question for you. What's the most New Jersey thing?
Oh, my God. Impossible.
Is it Allie saying, "That's reunion pay dirt, baby"? Is it Allie saying the word trauma bond?
Okay.
Is it Allie saying worddefinition.net defines a reunion as a union that is happening again?
Fuck, this one's going to be hard.
Or is it Allie saying, "Shut the fuck up, Doug, you're a grown man"?
Okay. It's not reunion pay dirt. That's not the most New Jersey thing.
Okay,
so that one's off the table. Then we've got worddefinition.net. I'm going to take worddefinition.net off the table because I think trauma bond beats it out. So that leaves us with trauma bond and shut the fuck up, Doug. And I'm going to go with shut the fuck up, Doug, because I think it's more universal. I think that if you took a pool of women like Allie from New Jersey, 80% of them would say trauma bond, and 100% of them would say, "Shut the fuck up, Doug. You're a grown man."
That is correct.
Yes!
That is, the judges say that's correct.
Oh my God. 10 out of 10 New Jerseyers agree. Thank God. That was a hard one.
Wow. Was that it? Did we talk about season 1 of Yellowjackets?
I think we did. This was a really fun exercise in what it's like to talk about a brand new show that is very dense in its dialogue and takes place across many timelines. We hope we've done you proud.
We are confused a lot.
So what was the name of our podcast should be "So When Is Soccer Season?" A Yellowjackets podcast.
That's us. Well, now we figured it out.
We did.
/ read it on the internet
by the end
from a source that seems to be reasoning wisely.
I'll forever be haunted by us in episode 1 saying, "But we never see anyone outside of 1996. Every episode follows. Oh, it's been a blast, Jenny. I would like to say that the listeners of Doomcoming, the podcast, have been really, really giving their vocal support to women vocalizing eerily as our outro. So we do have support.
What if you do women vocalizing eerily and I do low chuffing? No, I don't want to mess up a good thing. We'll do women vocalizing eerily. Thanks so much for listening to us talk about this show and have a blast doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think instead of saying "until next time," you should say worddefinition.net defines women vocalizing eerily as.
Okay, perfect. Worddefinition.net defines women vocalizing eerily as. Nice.
I can never hear you when I'm vocalizing eerily.
You gotta keep them separated.
Like the brain disease, the kids are strapped
Dana Schwartz, and this is Rise or Die, the official companion podcast for Peacock's original series, Those About to Die. On this podcast, I go behind the scenes with the show's cast and creators to learn how they brought their brutal vision of Rome to life.
Gosh, people will freak out.
Rise or Die launches on July 18th. Watch or listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Don't you love it when you find a new podcast you really like? Well, let me recommend one. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm Mike Carruthers, the host, and in every episode, you'll hear fascinating information that will make your life better from top experts. Recently, we've done episodes on why you have the personality you do, the science of luck, and the psychology of a restaurant menu. You're going to like Something You Should Know. We have literally thousands of 5-star reviews. Look for Something You Should Know wherever you get your podcasts.